Okay, ayan. Yan yung organization mismo na nililito.
Pwede pabot na natin yung camera.
Ogat.
Sino official mo ni Charo kayo?
Ha?
Sino official niya?
Yung IMAC Adriano.
Ay, Mac, Adrian. Taga Rizal. Studio yung sa Rizal.
Ay, makikita ka eh. Doon ka sa loob dapat. Parang ginagawa na ako. Yan.
Hello, good afternoon everyone. So, kamusta po tayo? I hope we're all safe and dry. Okay, so let's start. Good afternoon po. On behalf of the Miss Earth Australia organization, headed by Miss Julieta De Leon, we'd like to warmly welcome you all to this very special meet and greet press conference with our reigning Miss Earth Australia 2025, Alexa Heather Rodder. And I will be your host for today's earthly event. I'm Cheryl Nasino po. Okay, so today we celebrate remarkable young woman whose grace, intellect, and commitment to the planet truly embody the essence of the Miss Earth brand. Okay, so we are deeply honored to have members of the media, pageant press, and special guests joining us today. Let's take a moment to acknowledge their presence and continued support from our national and mainstream media outlets. So we have the team of Net25. Yes. We have Bobby Requentina of Manila Bulletin. We have Bama Dina of Inquirer. We have Michael Casanova, pageant fanatic. Tenten Rodriguez, The Tenten Show. Adrian Gratuito, Maganap. We have Theody Lorilla of Sash Factor. Ryan Aguas, Entertainment News Portal. We have Mel Caparas, Pageant Chronicles. We have Jen Lopez, Pageant Novels. We have Celso Caparas, Dar Vloggers. Palakasan tayo na. We have Krisa Enriquez, Missology. Critical Beauty Philippines, Mickelsen Pe. We have Paulo Lomeda of Pageantry News International. Jojo Mabanes of the Pageantry Platform. We have Fab Manila, Edmond Ong Chua. We have Esel Jan of Pageantry Fanatics. And our official photographer, Bert Briones. Maraming pong salamat. Thank you for your time, love, and support for the Miss Earth movement. Yes. Okay, so let's start talagang ito na. Ito na po tayo guys. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the woman of the hour. A queen of intelligence, heart, and purpose. Alexa Heather Rodder, our Miss Earth Australia 2025. She is a proud Filipina. So she brings with her an impressive blend of driven by her environmental protection and community health. Currently, Alexa is completing her Bachelor of Laws honors and will soon begin her career in a corporate law firm where she hopes to champion environmental pro bono initiatives. Her experience spans from the Supreme Court of Brisbane to the Queensland government's legal aid team. And she now serves as executive legal assistant at Roder Lawyers. As an ambassador for a charity foundation, Alexa passionately promotes the connection between community, well-being, and a healthy environment, reminding us that when we care for the planet, we care for ourselves. So let's all welcome our Miss Earth Australia 2025, Alexa Heather Roder.
Ito si Adrian.
Center.
Left,
Wait lang, be.
right,
Wait lang. Saka nito.
Center right. In front.
Hindi ko na picture.
Alexa here.
Alexa! Alexa! Middle!
Here's a bouquet of flower for you, Miss Alexa. So another round of photo ops to the left.
Alexa!
Center left.
Alexa! Okay, Alexa, look here. Alexa! Alexa, look here. Alexa!
Alexa here. Alexa here. One more.
Center.
Perfect.
Okay. Hi, Miss Alexa. Can you have the mic?
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for coming to meet me and hearing my advocacy. I'm so excited why I'm about to share how passionate I am to be Miss Earth Australia 2025.
Okay. Do you want to say anything else, Miss Alexa? Well, we have it. Before we do the Q&A, are you ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, so we now open the floor for questions from our distinguished members. And please introduce yourself and your publication before your questions. So, do you understand Tagalog?
I'm sorry, no, but Gamay lang. Gamay lang?
Gamay lang.
Kaunti lang. Okay, okay. So,
Bisaya yun.
who's gonna start? Baka meron tayong mga questions na ready dyan. Okay, okay.
Hi, good afternoon, Alexa. I'm Lopez from Pageant Nobles. I have questions actually. So my first question is, Australia has been a powerhouse country in Oceania and the first Miss Earth from Oceania. What quality of Australians do you think is their edge among other Oceanians that stand them out in pageantry? One quality.
In pageantry, I feel like we as a country are innovators, and that comes out. Thank you. And that comes out in pageantry as well. Australians love to try new things, and as innovators, you can see it particularly in the environmental space as well, We are pioneers for farming initiatives, and with Miss Jessica Lane, you can see that she is an innovator wanting to experience new experiences. With her range, she's done so many amazing things with pageantry, going to international countries and sharing her city. That's our edge as Australians.
All right. My second question is, I know that Bella de la Cruz, the Miss International Australia 2025, is her batchmate at Queens of Australia. She also competed here in the Philippines this year. So, did she give you any advice or to talk about while she's competing here in the Philippines, same as you right now, competing here for Miss Earth?
Bella de la Cruz was one of my batchmates for our pageant, and she really is my twin flame for pageantry. We connected so deeply with our experience, and hers to me was to be yourself and stay true to your advocacy, and that's what I meant to do during this competition.
What about Jessica Lane? Did she give you any advice or tips?
Oh, I would love to connect with Jessica, but she's been so busy, as we can see on social media. So as soon as she hands over reign, I'm so excited to connect with her and hear how her year has been reigning as Miss Earth 2024.
Thank you, Alexa, and good luck on your maternity.
Thank you so much.
Hi, good afternoon. First of all, congratulations. This is Paolo from Pageant News International. Okay, how does it feel to be crowned Miss Earth Australia 2025?
Hi, Paolo. Thank you so much for coming tonight. Crowned as Miss Earth 2025 just feels deeply right inside me. I've always grown up with a strong sense of environmentalism and wanting to connect with nature, share my connection with nature. So inside me, it's just felt right.
And can you tell us more about your advocacy campaign, One Swiss a Day? What inspired you and what message do you hope to contribute?
Yes, of course. So I previously entered Miss Philippines Earth. It was my first ever pageant in June and my campaign was One Switch a Day, and my advocacy centered on sharing the impacts of microplastics, because I found out that I unfortunately had cancer cells in my body, and I'm quite young, I'm 24 years old, so it was quite a scare to hear that I had cancer cells. But after doing a deep dive into what causes them, what exacerbates them, I found out how bad microplastics are, yet how prevalent they are in our waterways, in our food, and just in our everyday life. So I wanted to share that during my experience with Miss Philippines Earth. However, during the Miss Earth competition, my advocacy stays the same about wanting to connect health environment and our need to preserve our environment, because it keeps us healthy and keeps us connected to me. But my advocacy focuses on my experience growing up in Australia. So I would love to share my advocacy. It has slightly changed. So in Australia, 8.4 million tonnes of food is wasted per year. Food waste is rampant, causing hunger and environmental harm. And I grew up with a father who was a farmer. Unfortunately, he passed away when I was young, but before he passed away, he showed me the importance of how our First Nations people in Australia have practices that look after our earth, connect seasons, and also respect our environment. And so that's a lot of my advocacy right now, because when we deeply connect with where our food comes from and how it's produced, we can heal our bodies and we can heal our community. There's a long list of resources that show that this is true, and I want to share that with the world, because when we reconnect with our farmers and where our food comes from and with our Indigenous practices, we can heal communities, not only physically but spiritually, and also heal our earth at the same time.
Well said. Okay, thank you and good luck, sir.
Thank you, Paolo.
Hi Alexa! Welcome back to the Philippines!
Thank you so much.
Energetic, di ba?
Okay, you recently joined Miss Philippines Earth 2025, how did that experience prepare you for the international stage or the Miss Earth 2025?
I'm so blessed that I had the experience of joining Miss Philippines Earth. On a practical level, there are so many similarities between the Miss Philippines Earth competition and the International Miss Earth, so that has prepared me for understanding the process of the competition. But more on a deeper level, it was my first ever pageant, so it helped me prepare for beauty pageants, understanding what is required and also how to connect with people. It's something so out of my comfort zone. I am a law student, so I'm used to talking to a crowd and sharing my advocacy, but it looks a little different. Normally there's just one person, the judge, that I'm talking to, not a group of people, and there's not cameras. So I'm so excited to learn new skills and have new experiences.
We've seen some footages that Davao welcomed you once you arrived. So, how does it feel knowing that many Filipinos, especially Davaoenos, are excited to see and support you again?
Davao is my second home. I was born in Davao but grew up in Australia. So I am a proud Filipino Australian, and I'm so excited to support Australians and Davaoenos and Filipinos in my journey and to share my advocacy with them. I had the most beautiful opportunity in Davao. I got to go visit a local indigenous tribe, and they shared to me the importance of looking after nature. I asked the chief if he had any sentiments about my advocacy and about the importance of connecting to nature, and he shared with me, when nature dies, so does our tribe. And that really touched deep inside me, because that's what my advocacy is all about. When nature dies, our health dies, our community dies, and our deep roots to the earth dies with it.
Thank you, Alexa.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Hi Alexa, I'm Armin Adina from The Inquirer. I'd like to know, what is it about the Miss Earth pageant that made you seek to join the competition twice? First in the Miss Philippines Earth pageant and second through the Queen of Australia pageant.
That's such an amazing question. So I first joined the Miss Philippines Earth pageant because growing up in Australia, as I've shared previously, my dad taught me the importance of connecting to nature, and it was something just came naturally as he was a farmer and I grew up in a small coastal town. So every second I was in the sun, at the beach, on a hike, connecting to nature, joining jobs and occupations and volunteer activities where I could share my environmental advocacy. So wanting to join Miss Philippines Earth was really a natural transition for me in my life and experience. Because also as a half Filipino, you grow up wanting to do pageants. So getting to do a pageant that aligned with my values and my advocacy on environmentalism was very fitting. And then wanting to join Miss Earth Australia, I saw the Miss Earth platform and how it could connect with people. I got the opportunity to share my advocacy at the University of the East, and I saw how one student shared how it impacted him, and he didn't realize the impacts of microplastics. And so I came back because I'm not done sharing my advocacy. I really do have a passion for the environment, and I want to share it with as many people as I can. And I've been blessed with the opportunity of having an international stage, so I'm going to keep going and sharing what I care so deeply about.
Thank you. Just another question for me. A pageant that took place last night had a back-to-back victory. Does that give you an increased confidence that you also can possibly give a back-to-back victory for Australia in Miss Earth?
I got to see some of the clips from Miss Grand last night, and Emma from the Philippines performed so beautifully and confidently. And I'm confident that Australia can have a back-to-back win as well. Jessica Lane has been such an inspiration, and I'm ready to fill those shoes, and I'm ready to keep on going, sharing our passions and our advocacies from Australia.
Thank you very much. And best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Hello Alexa, good evening. Robert from the Manila Bulletin. So, how are you preparing for the competition? And I noticed that you came early then because the finals will be held in November. So, what are the activities in between? The reason why you came early.
Hi, thank you so much. I'm so excited with every activity that's a part of my. So I'm connecting with myself, psychologically preparing with my team here in Manila with my catwalks. Beauty pageants is something that are very new to me. So I'm preparing my passerella training and just building confidence in a new space that's very unfamiliar to me. But something that I'm most excited about was my activities and my preparation in Davao, where I got to connect with Davaoeños and share my advocacies. I got to visit a beautiful organic and sustainable farm called Gran Verde, and Tita Witt showed me the importance and also confirmed my advocacy by sharing how she healed herself and reconnected with nature and is using sustainable practices on her farm. I also, a part of my prep, got to go and plant mangrove trees, which was actually my advocacy project for our thesis defense. To carry out something that I was advocating for during the Miss Philippines Earth was a very powerful experience.
Okay. So, in your opinion, what can the Filipinos learn from Australians in terms of caring and preserving the environment?
I think Filipinos are doing an amazing job with understanding the importance of environmental preservation. I think I would love to see manufacturers and businesses and governments get more involved with helping the community have access to making environmental preservation easier for the common Filipino.
Thank you, Alexa, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Alexa. This is Celso Portes, Star Blogger. On October 24, the United Nations will commemorate its 80th founding anniversary. Would you like to discuss in the General Assembly?
I would love to be invited. That would be the most amazing opportunity, not only as a beauty queen, but also with my profession as a law graduate by next year. Something that I would want to share would be my advocacy. I think food security is one of the 4 basic needs of humans, and people need to start acknowledging the importance of securing sustainable farming practices everywhere across the world and making sure it's accessible to everybody. I would love to see agricultural businesses supported and farmers recognized for the importance and the backbone that they are to the society. So if I was able to be invited to the UN, I would love to advocate for more support for farmers and sustainable practices and innovations where we fuse modern science, indigenous practices to make farming more sustainable.
Next question. Since you're a law student and graduating next year, what environmental law would you like to author and for implementation?
Yes, of course. So I am going to complete my studies by November, and a part of my final units is to write a thesis policy paper honors report. And I actually wrote this on environmental law because it's something that really is passionate to me. So in Australia, unlike the Philippines, we don't have environmental laws a part of our constitution. So who makes our laws is the state government, and they are far from our local councils, and it's hard to discuss with our local councils what's going on in our local environments. So something that I would love to see in Australia is more bandwidth for local councils to implement environmental laws, because they are the ones that know what is happening in their community, what needs to be regulated in their environments. And I was actually so blessed with the opportunity in Davao to have a discussion with judges and lawyers, and I got to hear how Filipinos are so amazing with having their own regulations in their local councils so that they can implement them directly. So what the Philippines is doing here, I would love to see in Australia.
Thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Hello Alexa, I'm Mel Cabras from Pageant Chronicle. My question is, what Filipino and Australian values and traditions do you treasure most?
That's such a hard question. I think an Australian tradition that I value the most is going to the beach on Christmas Day. I would love to experience a white Christmas in Australia. It's very hot as well. But going to the beach with your family on a day where most people do get the opportunity to rest is such a connected experience. You're at the beach, which is my favorite place, connecting with the water, with your family, with food that you love, and it really is a beautiful tradition to just be under the sun. I know in Philippines it's a little different, we don't like the sun. And a Filipino tradition that I absolutely adore is actually on Easter, when my family and I come to Davao every year, and it normally falls on Easter, and we would go, I have to go to 7 churches, and it is a very long day, but I was so blessed that my family raised me to be a devoted Christian. But it's not quite about the religious aspect for me, but it's about the connection. I see communities coming together, I see families blessing and hugging during the Peace Be With Yous, and that really makes my heart warm. To come together at the end of the day and to share food and to be grateful, that connectedness is really something so special, and that connectedness is what's going to preserve our earth.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paul.
Hi Alexa, this is Tenten. Knowing that you're a half Filipina, I think you're very much aware socially about what's happening in the Philippines right now. So, the ecosystem is very much damaging. Do you think it's nature or the fault of human?
I think that if we look at history and we understand how our nature has been beautifully preserved by our First Nations peoples across the world, it unfortunately would point to our society that we aren't appreciating and understanding that what we take from the earth needs to be given back. And you can see that in our food production. We are mass producing food, yet so many go hungry. And it just doesn't make sense. We need to understand that what we take is what we give, and we need to understand what we're taking, how it's impacting our bodies, and how it's impacting our community. So I do think that it's society, unfortunately.
Okay, if you will be Miss Earth 2025, will you be that queen that will not be voicing out what she hears and what she feels, no matter what the consequences will be? Or just mum her mouth in order to protect her image?
I think there is a time and a place to say what needs to be said, and there's also a way in delivering it that is important. But at my core, I am an advocate. At my core, I am going to be a lawyer. So I stand for the voiceless, and I stand for those who cannot speak for themselves, and so I will always be an advocate. That is what I have chosen as my profession, and that is what I stand for as a value as a person.
Thanks so much.
There's the Evian. Featuring Virgo.
Winner yung mga tao. Oh, basic lang sa'yo. Paano?
Hello,
Are you going to voice out? Huwag mo naman pagkakaroon.
Except for the
Ay,
reigning
hindi
Miss
naman.
Earth, who is the Australian beauty queen that inspires you most?
So I am a little bit biased, but she is half Australian, half Filipino, and it is Catriona Gray. She resonates with me because she entered beauty pageants over and over again because she knew that she wanted to do this and she had a bigger purpose, and she succeeded. So her resilience is really something that inspires me.
Where are your roots here in the Philippines?
Of course, I am proudly a Davaoeña, and I was born in Davao.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Hello, hi, I'm Drew.
Hi, Drew. How are you?
So, you're very well spoken, so I want to ask you a famous Miss Earth final question. If you would describe the world to a blind child, how would you describe it?
I love storytelling. Our First Nations people in Australia find storytelling powerful, and that's how they have shared for tens of thousands of years the importance of preserving our environment, but also the beauty of it. So how I would describe it to a blind child is, if you could imagine, or if you could picture something so beautiful and undeniable, if you could imagine that you could see something that would only make you believe that a God existed because it was made so perfect and so beautifully. The beach is somewhere that's really close to my heart because I grew up in a small coastal town in Australia. So then I would describe to them, could you imagine hearing waves crashing and underneath your feet you felt soft, warm little grains of sand, and then you sat down and felt the cool water come up against you. While feeling all those feelings, you hear birds in the distance and children playing. That's what it feels like to be at the beach, and that's the importance of protecting our environment.
And for my final question, just about your preparation for Miss Earth. Former Miss Earth winners would always say, Miss Earth is not a sprint, but a marathon. So how do you make sure you don't lose momentum going into the finals?
The way that I haven't lost momentum going into the finals is because it's something that's already deep inside me. I've grown up with loving the environment and connecting to nature and enjoying being an environmental advocate. You can see from my previous occupations, I used to work a state inquiry into how colonialism impacted our First Nations people. So I've always done this, and when I do get tired, I think to myself, why am I doing this? And it's because I do deeply care, and I want to be a voice for the voiceless, and I keep going.
Thank you, and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Adrian from Magana.
Hi.
First of all, Alexa, welcome back to the Philippines. And my question is, as a half Australian and half Filipino, if you will be given a chance to give a message about the Philippines' current flood control issue, as a Miss Earth warrior and as a half Filipina, what will be your message to all the Filipinos?
First, I would want to put out my heart to anyone that has experienced the disasters of flooding. I was also here during the flooding of Manila this year, and it was so disheartening to learn about how there has been a budget to help rebuild and provide structure for Filipinos, and that hasn't been actioned. And so what I would want to say is that Filipinos, please keep going. It's not fair that this is something that you are experiencing as a community. And it's not fair that your government isn't standing up for you. As a law student, I understand that governments are meant to be there, to be the voice for community and for society, and that they're letting you down isn't fair. So I really hope that you continue to advocate for your right to have a safe home, to have security, and to have infrastructure that helps prevent flooding in your home. Please keep going, and I hope that I see change soon.
Hello, Queen Alexa. This is Edmond Chua or from Manila. My question is just simple. What inspired you to join the beauty pageant?
To just join a beauty pageant, what inspired me was actually my mom. Growing up as a little Filipina girl, I'm sure that many Filipinos can relate. You grow up looking up at beauty queens and wanting to be like them. They were my role models growing up, and I would practice my passerella in the kitchen, dance my talent for my mom, practice question and answer at dinner. It's always been a childhood dream of mine, but joining Miss Earth specifically aligned with me because of the way that I was brought up in Australia and the way that my dad showed me to live.
Okay, this is my next question. What challenges do you face in preparing for this competition?
Actually, I was unfortunately in Davao during the earthquake, so that was quite a challenge. I woke up in our condo and it was about, I think, 9 or 10. I was just laying in bed and I saw the chandelier lights swinging, and then the glass from the chandelier lights broke all over the floor, and I was alone and I didn't know what to do. And in Australia, we're not near any tectonic plates, so we don't experience earthquakes. So I panicked, I grabbed my stuff, ran down, no chanelas, just in my pajamas. That's the hardship that I've experienced in preparation.
And this is my last question. Can you please stand up? And this is the question of most of us.
Ay, sorry.
What should be the next Miss Earth 2025?
As a law graduate, who deeply cares about the environment, I will bring advocacy and action to the Miss Earth platform. My dad, growing up, was a farmer, and he taught me the importance of caring for our environment. So I have a personal connection to the land and understand the respect that needs to be given to our land. My advocacy centers on food waste reduction, sustainable practices, and sustainable agriculture, and honoring our Indigenous peoples, because recognizing their knowledge is understanding their vital importance to preserving our environment. Through my law degree, I understand the importance of policy and education and how it can create lasting change. And so as your Miss Earth, I want action. I want to advocate for sustainable equality for everyone, and I want to promote a healthy and sustainable earth for not only our health and ourselves and our community, but for our environment.
Well said. Good luck, Miss Alexa. Any more questions, guys, from our regional?
Intro.
Okay. They want to hear your intro. Okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
Good evening, everyone. I am Alexa Rhoda, and I am your Miss Earth 2025.
One more.
Energy.
I'm Alexa Rhoda, and I am your Miss Earth Australia 2025. And then Miss Earth
With energy.
I miss Australia.
Yes. 1, 2, and go.
Go.
Alexa Rhoda, Miss Earth Australia 2025.
Without the year.
Only Australia.
Without the year.
Sample at SL sample.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go.
Alexa Rhoda, Australia.
Okay.
Isa pa na.
Mozzarella.
No more questions? Pasarela? We'll try. Do we have music, sir? Okay, let's try one pasarela.
Five, 6, 7, go!
And go.
Introduction again. Intro.
Alexa Rhoda, Australia.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miss Alexa. Okay, we will have our photo off before anything else. Any parting words for our media friends? Yeah. I think this is gonna be about to end the program. But any parting words for them?
I would just like to say thank you so much for coming out. I understand that it's raining this evening, so there's so much traffic here in Manila right now. But thank you so much for listening to my advocacy and asking me questions about why I'm here advocating to be Miss Earth. It is something that is so important to me, and to share my advocacy, to touch any heart in the audience really means the world to me, and that's why I'm here tonight.
Thank you so much. So thank you to everyone who joined us today and for your unwavering support, Miss Earth Australia and our environmental mission. As Alexa prepares for her Miss Earth journey, let's continue to uplift the champion her cause, for the earth, for the people, and for a sustainable future. One round of applause again. Thank you so much. Okay, so before we end the program, we have the early birds a while ago. So let me call on and congratulate our early birds. Bang Adina of
Wow! Wow! Unang kakain. Unang kakain.
Ayan, special photo. We have Sense of
Unang kakain niya. Table number. Hermin, table number. Hermin. Early bird, ikaw? Something new.
Early birds. Paolo, yan. They are the 4 guys who were here.
Isa pa. Here po.